We're on the starting grid where the lights will soon go out to start the race. The weather is clear and temperatures are far from extreme. However, tyre wear will play a very important factor in today's race. This is why lots of riders have been using medium tyres.
And all riders on the hard front, medium rear. It's Bagnaia, Miller and Bastianini sharing the front row for the Twins. A former winner, of course, around here. The KTMs have shown good pace this weekend. Both Brabham this morning, he's the top Honda. Marc Marquez, 23. It's Remy Gardner and Darren Binder.
Revs up and lights out. Away we go here in MotoGP Aragon. Superb start from the middle of that front row by Jennifer Sector.
Absolutely magic start by Marc Marquez. Look at him. That's Quartararo.
Fabio Quartararo has been collected mid-pack.
He ran into the back of Marc.
Championship chase here. Pecco Bagnaia leads.
From Brad Binder in second place.
Oh, Marquez is down, collided with Taki Nakagami. This is horrendous. Oh, this is really super scary.
It's behind Nakagami and Marquez to avoid the incident there. Quartararo, there's smoke coming from the back of Marquez. We saw contact twice. Marquez made contact.
This was the first of two big incidents then on this opening lap. Let's follow Marc Marquez. Oh, Marquez had a moment. Marquez already got ahead of Fabio Quartararo. He had Fabio Quartararo. This was the big scare for him then. Marquez, look at that. He's going to have the moment. There it goes. The slide of the rear tyre. The medium rear tyre. Not up to temperature in turn. It's Pecco Bagnaia that leads. Taki Nakagami was so fortunate as well, wasn't he? When he went down mid-pack, going through reverse corkscrew. Marquez is an early retirement.
It's up the back of him, and this is out of turn 8. I think Marquez has already got his problems there. He's slow out of turn 8, and Nakagami with nowhere to go. And so good from all the riders behind him. They did. That's with Alex Mark.
Yeah, that's Maverick Vinales. You could just hear how hard on the brakes there, Maverick Vinales.
And as Marc lost the rear and instinctively shut the throttle, and right as Fabio's hard on the gas behind him, you know, so Fabio's front wheel's gone into the back of Marc.
For Taki Nakagami, because they were real scary moments. It's the worst sight when you see riders going down in the middle of big groups, particularly on the opening lap. Back at the front though, Binder's getting picked off again. He lost second place to Miller on the last lap, and now he's lost third place to Bastianini in that first corner on the brakes on lap number 4. At the head of that fourth row, he was second at one stage, avoiding all the early chaos, but he's now been pushed back down to fourth place.
Yeah, and further back, so Alex Marquez, who is right, Quartararo out of play, Franco Morbidelli is right at the back of the field. He, of course, got caught up in what happened earlier on. So too Alex Rins, who, of course, we saw having to dodge Quartararo.
Then just be the perfect wingman, protecting Pecco Bagnaia potentially. There's Lynn Jarvis, Yamaha boss, quickly coming to see Fabio Quartararo. Thumbs up. That was... Quartararo was so lucky there. That was horrible to watch. Look at that, nothing he could do. He gets an absolute whack from that factory Yamaha wide to the RM1. Happy to say,
see pieces falling off that Repsol Honda. That took quite a whack from Fabio Quartararo, and now he's in Quartararo, the slightly unlikely position where he's praying for help, for victory if he's quick enough, but he needs to get past Jack Miller first.
We know Bagnaia quickly got the board from his Ducati team saying that Quartararo was already out on the very first lap. We just saw clearly, can the beast dispense of Jack Miller directly ahead of him, because at the moment Pecco Bagnaia just starting to stretch away. Bastianini has got to find a way through quickly on Miller.
Get on the brakes a little bit offline there, a little bit wide, but that'll give him a good slingshot and a good approach to turn 17. We're completing now lap 5 of 23. Bagnaia's managing on that lap was once again Luca Marini. He was a few hundredths quicker again than the leader.
Bastianini on that last lap was the slowest of the top 3. Brad Binder still doing a fantastic job. For a first podium in 7 races since Mugello. It's been a long time since Alesia's tasted some post-race Prosecco.
What an opportunity this is for Brad Binder then, sitting in 4th position. He does appear now to be struggling to match the pace of this trio of Ducatis up ahead of him.
You can see there Bastianini's Ducati sort of head shaking and moving around. Wonder if that's just some dirty air behind. And now you can see how low that Ducati squats with that rear ride height device. There'll be nothing that Miller can do, because now Bastianini has had pretty much the top speed in every session so far here this weekend. Well, here in Aragon, the gap just over 7/10 of a second. Still a long way to go. 17 laps remaining.
Yeah, Bagnaia didn't really get any quicker on that lap. It was more Miller getting slower, and he looked a little bit wide.
Just lost second at turn 15 on lap 6 to Bastianini, and now in quick succession he loses the podium places to both Binder and Aleix Spargo. There's Fabio Quartararo, the best possible outcome after that horrendous first lap incident when he tagged the back of Marc Marquez after the 8 times world champion's big rear tyre slide.
He'll be the biggest Enea Bastianini fan.
Brad Binder already getting a team communication mapping too. Is that just to soften up the power a little bit with the tyre wear, also just a consideration as we
Mark, we saw what happened. Can you give us your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, was really unlucky, I would say, because it's true that didn't happen. And when I received the contact, already feel something strange in turn 5, but was acceptable. Then I go into turn 7, was okay. But then the problem is that locked the rear tire and going on the left side for some reason. And yeah, very, unlucky, but
for Marquez on the Repsol Honda. Thankfully, Taka Nakagami and Fabio Quartararo do look like they've escaped any kind of serious injury, but obviously the sector in the right hand side, that Michelin medium rear tyre, it just spun up, didn't it? And as he closed the throttle, Quartararo ran straight into the back of him. Down went the reigning world champion, and he's going to with 5 rounds remaining.
Yeah, he's gone here. Bastianini still fighting his corner, I suppose, in a certain sense in this Grand Prix. They matched each other on the last lap. We're into the 4, and here Bastianini just has that drive out of turn 15 and the straight line speed through his 2021 Ducati, which of course Bagnaia rode to victory here last year.
Knee and elbow scraping on the tarmac through there. We're about then to complete lap number 12. We're over half race distance then here in Aragon. It's an advantage of just under our team behind him.
Yeah, this is Miguel Oliveira on the second of the Factory KTMs, running in a relatively lonely 9th position at the moment. He's got just under a second advantage over charges through the field. Then it's Marco Bezzecchi in 12th, who we saw make a mistake earlier on at turn 12. Cal Crutchlow on for points at the moment on his return in 13th. Here is the British rider on the R&F Yamaha.
The key mistake, wasn't it, a few laps ago by Enea Bastianini, having done all the hard work to get himself to the front of this Grand Prix. It all came unstuck very, very quickly around the outside of Marco Bezzecchi.
It's so tight on the inside there into turn 1. Sometimes it is better to be on the outside of there. You can carry greater speed. You don't get pinched on the apex, and then
before they even back of him after he had that rear tyre slide.
The beast has got his claws into Bagnaia once again here through the first sector of this lap. Bastianini was actually quicker. That's not often.
First 2 seconds of this Grand Prix after that fantastic launch off the line on that Factory KTM RC16. Just wondered there whether Bastianini was once again just 168 metres this long back straight. 9 and a bit laps to go.
Into the final 5 laps now. The last time round he pulled 3/10 back. This time they virtually match each other, but he is now close enough to be within almost striking distance of Bagnaia. It is.
But just can't find a way through, can he? On Brad Binder, he must think he needs a wide load sticker on the back of that KTM, because he just has not been able to get close enough to show Binder his front running up nicely towards another thrilling battle between these two Italians. As we mentioned, there's sort of an extra dynamic, an extra spice and dimension to this fight, because they will be
to dodge Fabio Quartararo. Alex Rins is in 9th position. He's probably the fastest rider on track outside of this leading 2. He could still get a top 6 yet.
Now then, Bastianini visibly looks as close can through turn 16 and 17. I don't think he'll be close enough to attack Bagnaia on the brakes into the first corner. We are about to complete lap number 19 of 23 here. And
this is shades of Misano, because their pace is on another planet to anybody else. They both were in the low 148s. No one else is doing anything better than a 48.7.
The chance to really cement his position in that top 3 in the World Championship. Well, here he goes. Here's Bastianini then now on the brakes into reverse corkscrew. You just wonder now. It's all about the corner speed, the edge grip he has against Bagnaia through 13 and 14. Will he be close enough then with the acceleration out of 15?
Yeah, the acceleration there out of 15 from Bagnaia is just about enough, but now you can see the slipstream effect is being picked up as Bastianini hits well over 200 miles an hour. On board with him there, and seeing where he was quicker, it is going to be into turn 16.
The message crystal clear then to Pecco Bagnaia from his team. The gap over the line, they say 0.3 of a second. It was higher. Through 6, it won't be here.
Yeah, he'll maybe try and surprise Bagnaia. Bagnaia will certainly be expecting it into turn 16. He's pretty close there through 7, but it's a pretty short.
Got a little bit of a squirm on that rear tyre for Bastianini as he got on the power to go up through turn number 11. They drop down the hill into turn number 12. And switch again there. You can see how comes in on the inside. No, I thought he was going for it there. Now, is this the move? Can he pick up some slipstream here? Then Bagnaia gets superb drive. He gets that medium Michelin rear tyre hooked up brilliantly. Here comes
so much on the line here for Ducati. Bastianini has the green light to go for the win, but he has to make it clean.
Lap 21 then completed here in Aragon. Team points now of Fabio Quartararo with 5 races remaining.
Brad Binder won't have given up on that just yet. He tried to turn in to turn 1, but Aleix Espargaro just parked himself on the...
It was kind of 1-1, isn't it, in the battle between these two. It was Bastianini that had the upper hand in Le Mans, and then it was Bagnaia that took it after a great late race battle between the pair. Bagnaia's been able to pick up the throttle to perfection coming out of that tight left-hander and get the drive grip, despite the fact that we've got 22 laps now on that rear tyre.
He is. He's right up alongside once again, but again, he just can't pull alongside in... to 16, and he doesn't want to make that move and send it, because again, Ducati will not want to see either.
I think pre-race, Bastianini was given clear sweep to go for it. Now then, through turn 3, we are on the final lap here in Motorland Aragon. Will he be banked? Bastianini then hits the front on the final lap, going into turn number 7. He's sweep now out of the reverse corkscrew. Is Bagnaia going to go all in here? This final lap, I don't think Bagnaia's going to be close enough. Can Bastianini get that's going to catch him, or is he? Over the line they come. Is it going to be Bastianini or Bagnaia? It's the beast that wins a classic on the last lap again here in Motorland Aragon.
Before the traditional podium ceremony. We're moving to Parc Fermé with the live coverage, where the 3 podium finishers have just arrived. The winner is over the moon and is rightly indulging in some... Here are the top 3 riders on the podium. These guys gave a great performance. It was a real pleasure to watch them ride.